We'll go ahead and get started and take questions for Coach, and we can start with Kevin Kinder.
Coach, you mentioned that in your post game about needing to make a run here in this string of home games, and you've discussed the importance of kind of not falling behind schedule and losing games there that you can't afford not to because the conference is so close. Is that even more important this year, given how strong you expect the Big 12 to be?
I think the Big 12 strong every year. I think I think the teams that have that end up getting to the tournament are people that win in the non-conference, because we're going to beat each other up in the league. I think that's probably take Kansas aside. The rest of us are going to beat each other up.
We'll go to Justin Jackson.
Coach, you had kind of mentioned Sean McNeil's game the other night, and the effect he had of being able to just kind of sit down for a second there and then kind of evaluate things and get back into the game. What was it that he had 15 points in that final 14 minutes. What was it that got him going, and is this maybe kind of the beginning of something good for him?
Well, I can't answer the last one. I don't know if it is or it isn't, but he was kind of, we all were, we were a little stagnant, and I think we were all waiting on Taz to score for us. And, we've got to pass the ball better. I mean, that's something that's got to happen. We've got to be able to pass the ball better. It's not we didn't have guys open. We just didn't deliver the ball to them. We're too late. We throw it too low. We throw it too high. We don't make catch and shoot passes. And we need to do that. And that really affects somebody like Sean.
Do you think obviously he comes into the season, he's kind of known as the 3-point guy and, catch and shoot kind of guy. But the other night, he's putting the ball on the floor. He's coming off dribble handoffs and driving to the rim. This is a part of his game that, he's shown in spurts, but can he show more of that as this season goes along, be more consistent with that?
Well, yeah, I think that's something that he really needs to do. I mean, he's a guy who wants to continue to play when he gets done here, and he's got to be more than just a catch and shoot guy. He's got to be able to score it off the bounce. He's got to be able to use screens and using screens, whether it's a curl, whether it's a fade, whether it's a slip. He's got to be able to score multiple ways to be able to be somebody who is really hard to guard.
Reminder, if you need a question, please use the raised hand feature. We'll go back to Kevin.
Coach, there's been a lot of discussion, obviously, about the defense. Second half, you had both some guys locking down on the ball pretty well. It seems like getting the ball pressure that you want, and also kind of creating a little bit of havoc that got Clemson's passes a little bit off target. Is one or the other of those more important? Is one of those the key for you and for your team to play better overall defense?
Well, the biggest thing in trying to create a really good defense is ball pressure. Ball pressure takes so many things out of the offense's hands. Ball pressure, and then you combine that with being able to deny one pass away, and then you get to make sure you're in help position, and then being able to recover from help position to on the ball defense. It takes time. I mean, we've got guys coming from various different places with way different philosophies than what we have here.
That's kind of like a tough habit to break thing, and getting people to realize, hey, when somebody picks the ball up, get on them. Don't let them go to their preferred side, things like that.
What's hard? I think the biggest thing is I don't know if they're used to doing something else as much as it's hard. You know, it's a hard thing to do. It's physically taxing, and it's you know, people don't want that to happen, so they do everything they can possibly do to keep us from being able to do that. But a lot of it comes down to positioning. A lot of it comes down to proper closeouts. I mean, it comes down to your preparation to defend as much as it does your ability to defend.
Let's go to Greg Carey.
Bob, can you just kind of evaluate where you are in terms of rebounding and some of the progress that you maybe have or haven't made since the first 2 games?
I would say we're not very good. I think before I said we were horrible.
Progress.
We've gone from horrible to not very good. We're going to keep working on it. I mean, that's something that we start practice with every day. You know, it's hard for them to rebound if you got your back and you're behind on them, you know. So we've got to continue to work on proper blockouts. And we need to be able to, instead of stand and watch when the ball's shot, to be able to get opposite, quite frankly.
Let's go to John.
Where are you at on secondary defenses? I know you always like to have 1 or 2 in your back pocket. Are you getting closer to having something there where you'll be able to use that when you need to get stops?
You know, John, we did a lot of things. We did a lot of things early on just to kind of see personnel wise what they were the best at.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I think they have an idea, obviously not very accomplished at it yet, but they have an idea, because it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's what we did, you know, early on. And so we threw the kitchen sink at them early on.
Mm-hmm.
And with the idea that as we go, we'll figure out what's the best avenue.
Well, these 5 games you got coming up, is that some experimenting going on, or are you just going to try to put your guys out there and try to determine, okay, what works here, what works to win the game?
What Al Davis say, John?
Al Davis?
Yeah.
He said a lot of things.
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby. Right. Yeah. You did say that. So that's how you're going about it then. However you need to win.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But, you know, you got a lot of guys and you still don't know a lot about a lot of these guys. So, you know, that's got to be playing in the back of your mind.
Well, John, it's like I tell them every day, you know, you've got an opportunity every day to show what you can do. That's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not up to the coaching staff. That's up to you. When you know, I think all anybody really wants and probably deserves is an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And they have an opportunity every single day to show what they can do. I mean, and you look at the guys that are playing the most are the guys that really have shown us that they're capable of handling what it is we're going to face.
So it's an earned deal.
Has to be.
Mm.
Let's go to Justin.
Hey, Coach, I think you guys are, I mean, obviously it's still very early in the season, but I think you guys are second in the Big 12 in block shots. Obviously a lot higher than you guys have been the last few years. I'm just kind of wondering the block shot, how much has that played into your defensive strategy this year? And, you know, is this something that, I mean, do you think that this is something that could continue to happen throughout the rest of the season?
Well, we purposely went out and tried to get some guys who could block shots. You know, DC was one of, if not the best shot blocker in the country a year ago. Now, what you got to factor in is the level that he was playing at then and the level that he's playing at now. Polly was a very good shot blocker at DePaul, blocked a lot of shots. You know, we need those guys to be able to do what they did at another level at this level. I mean, you think about it, you go from playing at a low major league or in a league. Let me just put it this way: none of them have played in a league like they're getting ready to play in here. This is as good a league, as good a basketball league as there is in the country.
Would you be surprised though? Like, you know, say you get into February or the middle of February and you guys are still second in the league in block shots. Would that surprise you?
No, not at all. It's what we brought him in here to do.
Right. The last one on this issue, Jalen, I think he had like 12 block shots all of last year, and he's already got 8 this year. Was this a part of a game that you guys maybe saw coming, like maybe from over the summer or preseason, or is this kind of a surprise what he's done with blocking shots?
Well, I think to block shots, you have to have that ability, and he's got length. And I think the other thing is, you know, JB ends up guarding a lot of smaller guys just because a lot of people are playing 3 guards.
Right.
We're not playing 3 guards. When we're playing him, he's our 3rd guard basically. He's a small forward really, but he's having to guard small guards, so he's going to have opportunities to block shots for sure.
Back to John.
Who's your best offensive rebounder right now, and who do you think could be your best offensive rebounder by the end of the year?
Whoever the ball bounces to. You know, we're going to send 5 guys.
Mm.
Well, we're going to send 4. We're going to send 4 to go rebound. I mean, if you watch, Taz is a very good offensive rebounder, and Taz is a guard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the 2 people that probably will have the least opportunities are probably going to be Sean and Keedy or Malik, the guys that somebody's got to get back and make sure we get the breaks stopped. Somebody's got to be able to hold the fort in transition defense till we recover.
So it's gonna be a weak side deal then, instead of maybe a guy like a Derek who just is big enough to go and get the ball.
If you go back and look at it and study it, Derek went where I told him to go. 74% of missed shots go opposite.
Okay, so then somebody could do it if they follow the plan and do the techniques and the things that you coach, right?
Theoretically, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we don't have a 6'9", 265-pound guy. We've got more like whatever they are, 6'6" guys.
Yeah. Seems like Paulie could be that guy maybe a little bit. He's got a little bit of a knack for the ball.
It's not really a knack, John. It's put your head down and get opposite and get inside whoever's there.
Okay.
That's not much of a knack. That's just doing what you're taught to do.
There's a hand-eye coordination, element to it too. Guys that have good hands that can go grab the ball, have strong hands, that type of thing. I mean, there's some of that involved in it too, right?
Well, that's true in anything.
Yeah.
Guys that steal balls are that way. The guys that have ball pressure and steal balls. Look at JC.
Yeah. Well, I know you've always talked in the past about guys that can get to the ball. That's what you covet, what you want, guys that are able to do that.
It's hard to get it if you don't get there.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Kevin.
Just observing your fast break chances this year and your true runouts, not just secondary offense. It seems like the passing there has been better. Your conversion rate has been really higher. What have been the keys to that improvement, if you've seen that improvement this year?
We've worked on down the floor passing. We've worked on pretty much at the beginning of most practices, we'll start on some kind of transition drill that they have to pass the ball. And then really for both ends of the floor, we've worked on 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s and 4-on-3s and those kind of things. So, they've had a lot of preparation. You know, it's a matter of muscle memory, I guess, and getting better at it.
Reminder, if you have a question, please use the raise hand feature and we'll go to Justin.
Coach, tomorrow, I think, I saw that your guys are scheduled to go to the Salvation Army, I think, and kind of hand out some meals and, you know, kind of give back to the community. I just kind of wondering if you could share a story on how that all came together and what an opportunity like that, you know, could mean for your guys away from the court.
Well, Stephanie White set it up initially, and you know, we all thought it was a great thing for our guys to do and see. And I think for the most part, our guys have enjoyed it. I think they've, for the most part, come out. I mean, like anything else. I mean, you got a couple people in there that give you a hard time. You know, they didn't appreciate that, but they did feel good about being able to go out in the community and help the community, and then they honestly, they like being around each other, which is a plus.
There's no further questions. John will be the last.
And last one for me. Do you think this team has a chance of being pretty good at scoring at the rim? I mean, I think of Taz, think of Curry with his left hand. JB, could this be maybe a team that could be good at that by the end of the year?
I think, John, that the biggest part of that is being able to pass the ball. You know, when you throw it down around guys' ankles, it's awfully hard for them to scoop it up and be able to finish around the rim. We've got guys that basically people haven't thrown the ball to. You know, they've been very valuable for blocking shots and rebounding and, you know, those kind of things more than being an offensive option. But a lot of it's passing, you know, throw the ball away from the defense. You know, we don't do that. You know, pass ought to be waist up. You know, who wants to turn their hands over, kneel down like a catcher, and then turn around, jump up and shoot one? Nobody wants to do that. Nobody's very good at doing that. I think to a large degree, we will shoot the ball much better when we pass the ball better. Our offense, instead of looking like a bunch of guys running into each other, will actually look like a fluid offense once we pass the basketball. And what we've always done here, everybody's passed the ball. I mean, you go back to anybody you want to talk about, they've all learned to pass the basketball, and that's key, you know, and that's key. If you never throw a guy the ball, his guy's going to stand in the lane. Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So we've always tried to get our bigs to be able to pass the ball as well, and pass the ball or dribble handoff or do something where they're involved in the offense. But it you know, it comes down to and people don't think about that as much as what probably they need to. But the key to shooting, the key to offense, be it a slip, be it a curl, be it a reject, is to be able to have the ball in a position you can catch it, you know, whenever you make those moves. And if you go back and look at what we've done offensive, it's not we don't have guys open. We don't get the ball to them.
In the right places.
Well, yeah, I mean, you get the ball to them late, they're underneath the backboard. You get the ball to them too early, now they've got to bounce it. You know, and if you throw it below their waist, you're probably not going to score it.
Yeah.
You know, it needs to be in a position where you can catch and finish. And we haven't been able to do that.
Hey, real quick, forgot to ask you, I know it's early in the week. What do you see from Eastern Kentucky on Friday?
They're going to press and shoot a bunch of threes. And then, you know, they're going to have a guy with the same hairdo you have on the sidelines, the exact same hairdo. I don't know if you all go to the same barber, but
it's biology.
Is that what it is? Genetics?
Yeah, biology. It's genetics. There is what it is.
There you
I'm
go.
sure.
But
Yeah.
now AW does a great job of the way they play and the way they want to play fast. They want to turn you over and they want to shoot threes.
So this will be a fun game to watch on Friday then for people to come out, see.
For you, probably. Yeah, not for me, but probably for you, it'll be fun.
For the fans, it'll be a good up and down game.
Yeah, it will be.
Last question from Justin.
Hey, Coach, I forgot to ask about Gabe, the Clemson game. Would you say or agree that that was maybe one of his best all-time kind of all-around games? And then, obviously with the things he's done, he's shown that ability over the last couple of years. Is that all instinct, or is that stuff that you guys can coach? Or, I mean, just kind of explain how Gabe is Gabe, I guess.
Well, I think the first thing that and the most important thing is Gabe was in the game.
Yeah.
Because, our first however many games, Gabe wasn't in the game because he was in foul trouble. He's been in foul trouble constantly.
I'd call it Huggins.
So we're trying to keep him in a game longer and keep him in a game in critical situations.
You got anything here, Brian, for Steve Dunlap to ask Hugs?
Catching any fish?
My share. I want to go hit that private lake of yours. Clean it out.
Well, I'll tell you, you can't clean it out, but you know what? We ought to do that.
Hey, boat's ready.
Sit around, talk about the old days.
Yeah.
You guys talk is good fishing stuff. I don't see the fish though. That's the problem. I
Well,
don't see them.
maybe you ought to go to the optometrist and get your eyes checked. I mean, maybe those glasses are a little old, John.
They are.
Hey, good luck this year. Keep getting.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay. See you.
All right, Coach, I think that wraps
Thanks.
it up. Thanks for your time, and thanks to all the media for calling in. Thank you.
Thank you all.